How do we reverse the outgroup preference found amongst certain white people? Thank you very much for that kind investment. And did I mention, I don't think I mentioned, the familiar alternative is also working again, ladies and gentlemen. And you can also super chat over there at 6%. I don't think I mentioned it earlier. So how do we reverse the outgroup preference found amongst certain white people? Well, I wish I knew exactly what white people you're talking about when you're asking about this. The focus on non-white peoples is has complex motivators that are born of the meme pathogens that our people are infected with. So by addressing the meme pathogens, the MPs that they are infected with, which we teach you to do in Go Free, you will free them of this desire to do what? The reason why they're focusing on the outgroup, they are doing what? Does anybody know? They are attempting to make amends. They are attempting to unload some of that white guilt that the meme pathogens keep them guilted with. They're attempting to free themselves of a little bit of that white noir. So that focus on the welfare of other groups to the detriment of our group is a coping mechanism that is exactly what the anti-whites want to have happen. And so we have to say, what is at the root of what's causing them to feel like they have to unload white guilt, that they even have white guilt? And once we address those root sources, these people will then focus in a much more healthy way on the well-being of our people. So the entirety of the process of going free is what helps people to stop focusing on other groups and, in fact, putting those groups ahead of us in a way that is detrimental to us. Because make no mistake, the anti-whites don't have any program in place that benefits non-white people without harming us. Many times Republicans in the United States have put forward ideas, suggestions, programs to benefit different non-white groups like blacks or Hispanics or what have you. And they can show with reason, logic, and evidence in where similar programs have been instantiated, implemented, and successful. They can show, look, these programs are much more successful for these groups than the ones you have in place. The Democrats, who are more anti-white than the Republicans, always shoot these down. And the Republicans and the conservatives, all these people that support them, they walk away shaking their head like imbeciles, saying, I don't get it. I don't understand. These programs are actually better for these groups that the Democrats claim to want to help. So why won't they use these programs? Well, because the reason is not to benefit these non-white groups. The reason is to harm you, dipstick. Trying not to cuss. The reason is to harm you. So the program is in place to harm you. The fact that it helps them is just a way to, the fact that it helps a particular non-white group is just a way to rope that non-white group into the infernal coalition of anti-whites against us. So it makes perfect sense when you're smart enough and you're brave enough to accept what's going on in the real world. If you're not smart enough and you're not brave enough, then you're going to end up waddling around like one of these conservatives or nationalist idiots, scratching your head all day long, just not able to understand why in this case, they call themselves Democrats, act this way. Well, we know exactly why they act this way.